Control Review Board members and city staff will be participating today in this meeting remotely. Due to public health concerns, residents will not be able to provide public comments in person at the meeting. Those wishing to make public comments may submit written comments in advance or provide public comments by phone or video during this meeting. So at the Liquor Review Board, we allow for public comments as we go through each agenda item, and at the end of that item, before we make a vote, I ask if there's any public comment. So that's how we'll handle that at this meeting. So I am moving this motion that we meet virtually. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay, so I vote in favor of it, and Marion, do you vote yay as well? Okay, Brian, so the two members here today have moved to have this meeting virtually. Next up, I'm going to ask if there's a motion to approve the meeting minutes from Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021, which was our last liquor board meeting.
I didn't get them, but I approve them.
Okay.
I just looked. It was fine.
I'm sorry about that. The packet, I thought the packet was sent out. I apologize if the city staff didn't include you on that. I did take a look at the meeting minutes and thought they accurately depicted our meeting on March 3rd. So I will second that motion. All in favor of approving the meeting minutes? Aye. Aye from Marion. Okay, meeting minutes are approved. We're now going to move on to new business. We have 3 items on the agenda today regarding liquor licenses. The first one is going to be the Evanston Wilmette Golf Course Association, which is doing business as Canal Shores. And this is at 1030 Central Street. They're requesting a Class W2 license. And this notice was sent on March 26, 2021, and to Alderman Revelle on March 26, 2021 as well. And we do have Alderman Revelle with us. So this is sort of an extension of an item that was on our agenda back in March. The council did move forward and approve the creation of this Class W2 license. So the item before us today is to actually decide whether we want to approve that item for Canal Shores. And so the package, the application that they submitted was included in the package. Let's start with you, Brian, who's let's actually do this. Let's just start with Carl Leinberger, who's the president of Canal Shores. And Carl, why don't you just take a minute and just brief us on the requests that you're coming before the liquor board?
Yeah, so consistent with the revised ordinance, we have submitted an application that we believe is complete so that we can serve primarily beer, but also wine and other liquor if need be. There from our pro shop there at our 1030 Central Street. We have made provisions. We are Bassett certified. We have all the boxes checked in that regard. And we are happy to entertain any questions that any of the commissioners might have regarding our application or anything about how we intend to comply with the rules and regulations.
So Carl, this will be primarily distributed through a beverage cart. Is that correct? Or is there also a permanent fixture here too?
No, there'll be a permanent fixture. It'll be a cooler inside the pro shop behind the counter that locks for security purposes, but there will not be a beverage cart, at least in 2021.
Okay, so no beverage cart. It's just, again, if you're golfing and you want a beverage, you can get that at the beginning and then carry that in your bag or whatever through the course.
Correct. And these would be cans, not bottles. Bottles will be prohibited. We don't want broken glass or any issues stemming from that. So. Okay.
All right. I'm going to ask our city attorney, Brian George. Brian, if there was anything, I just want to make sure you spent the most time going through the application. Did everything look to be in order, and are there any concerns that you have?
Yeah, everything looks to be in order. No concerns. This has been I guess a project that's a long time coming. So they've filled out all the paperwork. They have everything in, and based on what I understand, Alderman Revelle has done extensive meetings with her community, and everyone there seems to be on board. So I have no concerns as far as their application is concerned.
All right, thank you, Brian. Alderman Ravel, is there anything you want to add on this application?
Well, excuse me, we did have a discussion at one of my special ward meetings, and a couple of the residents who live right on the course did express some concerns, but I think what they found reassuring was the fact that it's just a 1 year, each license is just for 1 year. And so if there are problems, then I think we could revisit whether to give them a license the second year. But there, there were concerns about litter and, the usual kind of concerns that people might have. So the idea that it's a license that needs to be renewed each year, I think was reassuring to the residents.
Okay, thank you. So I don't have any questions. Marion, do you have any questions of this applicant? Marion, oh, you froze up a little there. Couldn't
Oh,
hear
I'm
you.
sorry. Can you hear me now?
Now I can, yeah.
Okay, since I didn't receive the packet, is it possible that the new ordinance can be read to me so I'm just clear on what exactly it says?
So the ordinance, just so we're clear, the ordinance was approved by the city council to create the W-2 class. And this one, Brian, I'm just looking at, I printed out the agenda, but I didn't print out everything else that's in the package. I'm not sure if there's anything specific to address Marion's question that you could provide to her to make it clearer.
I just really, is it a long W-2 that needs to, that is involved in whatever? I just wanted to see it, that's all.
Yeah, so W-2 again is just the class of license. It's not the W-2 we all think about, right? So it's,
I know.
yeah, it's just the class. It's just the class of license, and the W-2 license was specific to golf courses. So we decided at that last meeting, because we already have a W license, we decided to create this W-2 specific to golf courses. We thought that would be the better approach. Council approved that. They clarified in there that it is the course itself. That was something Alderman Ravel had raised about like the geographic area. So they clarified that. And so today it's literally just saying, okay, we've got this license. Canal Shores has applied, as an applicant with this license. I think there's no question that they are an eligible applicant. They're a golf course. They run a golf course. The W-2 license is for that. They've explained they're not going to have a beverage cart this year. So it's just, golfers that go there and can buy something as they head out on the course.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So now I'll open it up if there's anyone that wants to speak at public comment on this item. You just want to put your camera on. All right, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and move that we approve the request for a Class W-2 license for the Evanston Wilmette Golf Course Association doing business as Canal Shores. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And Marion's an aye too. So we will go ahead and we will forward this on to the Evanston City Council. Brian, is this going to move for Monday? Is that the plan? Or is
No,
it
it has to be the 26th.
All right. So this,
I'll email Alderman Ravel and just to see if they want to request a suspension of the rules, but we will only be able to get it on for the 26th.
all right. So Carl, you got that, and Tom, it'll go on for Monday, April 26th. You can talk to the alderman if you want her to move it for introduction and action that night. That obviously would get you licensed quicker, and then you could use it more during the golf season this year.
Right.
You have been to many of these meetings before, so I'll just reiterate really quickly. It is a privilege to have a liquor license in Evanston. My expectation is that you will comply with all of the local and the state, liquor rules. I have no tolerance for underage drinking or anything like that. Expect that, you will follow all those rules. And if there is a problem, we will have a very firm conversation in my office about whether you continue to have the privilege to have a liquor license.
Understood, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So we're now going to move on then to the second item on our agenda, which is Green Spoon LLC, doing business as Green Spoon, which is in Alderman Rainey's ward, 619 Howard Street. And they are requesting a Class T catering license. And this notice was sent to the applicant on on March 26th, and to Alderman Rainey on March 26th as well. Let's see, who's the applicant for this? Is this you, Monica, or Mike? Monica, are you the applicant for Green Spoon?
Yes, Maggie, who is with Mike, and myself are.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome all three. I'll welcome all three of you.
Thank you.
So why don't you start off and just briefly explain what you're doing here over on Howard Street and what your request is today.
Sure. So we are a full-service catering company located in the new Palm House space at 619 Howard Street. We are working out of that space and then doing off-premise catering, which requires a liquor license. So that's what we are seeking a liquor license for today. We do cocktails, that's what we're anticipating on doing, and food and full-service catering.
And you cater all over Evanston and Chicago?
Correct.
Okay. But your space itself allows you to have events there too, or not?
Correct. Yes, but we don't do liquor there.
But you don't do liquor at your own space. Okay.
No. We're just a partner there. They have
Is
their
this,
own
is this the
license.
space connected to Peckish, like across the
Yes.
street from Peckish Pig? Okay,
Yeah.
I just walked by. We went there for brunch on Easter. Looked in the windows. It looks really great. Okay,
It is.
so I'm really just curious,
Sure.
as the mayor and as a business owner myself. So Peckish Pig owns that space. They renovated it, and then what's your relationship with them?
So we are calling ourselves a community partner. And so we rent out the kitchen to do our offsite catering business.
Ah.
And then any events, we do tastings within the space, we do photo shoots, we work within the space, we'll do pop-up dinners, and any events that, say somebody, comes there specifically for us to use our catering, we'll do catering there as well, because Peckish is not a full service catering. They're, restaurant and small boards and things like that. That's what they'll do within the space.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had a catering business before, Monica, or is this an existing business that's been around for a long time?
Existing business. We were originally a meal delivery service and wanted to focus on catering in 2020. Obviously, 2020 happened, so we are picking that up. We've done a lot of catering. We've been in existence since 2016, but really focused on meal delivery. So now we are full service catering and anticipating a really busy year ahead.
Have you had a liquor license before for your catering
We have not.
business? Oh, okay. So
No.
this is your first time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been either of any of you, I guess, all three of you, have you been in the restaurant business before, where liquor's been served and all of that?
Yes, extensively, Michael and Maggie.
Okay.
So I've been in the restaurant industry for over 20 years now, and been a professional bartender, Bassett certified, for coming up on 10 years now. I've been kind of leading the charge in getting the Evanston portion so far of the liquor license materials together. So we've gotten, both Maggie and Monica were Bassett certified. We've got everything updated. Mine is up to date. We've got everyone food service manager, on-site food service manager certified. So Maggie's been sous chefing and managing kitchens. I've been bar managing bar programs. So the two of us especially are very familiar with the requirements, the legal requirements of staffing and Bassett certification, of everything you need to maintain a space for somebody else's liquor license. So now we want to do it for ourselves.
Okay, good. Well, good for you. I have a lot of respect for entrepreneurs. Let's see, Brian, you've spent some time with this application. Any issues or concerns in your review of it?
None at all. They got everything in pretty promptly. It was a pretty smooth application process.
Great, great. Marion, do you have any questions of the applicants? Okay, you're muted, but I think that was a no.
Sorry, that was a no. I said it.
That was a no. All right. Alderman Rainey, is there anything you want to add to this discussion?
I do, but I'm not going to turn on my camera if that's all right. But I
That's
really am here. I just want to say to the mayor and to Marion and to Brian George and to the applicants who already know this, but this is like a dream come true on Howard Street. The building 619 Howard, it's a long vacant Sherwin-Williams paint store. Part of it was vacant, I know, for over 20 years. The other part has been vacant for probably over 10 years. And along came that actually Peckish Pig doesn't own the building. A doctor at Evanston Hospital, North Shore Hospital, whatever we call it now, owns it, who was a frequent customer at Peckish Pig along with Hecky Powell. And they talked about, somebody ought to buy that place. And so the doctor bought the place and met up with Deb Evans of Peckish Pig and said, you ought to do an event space here. And that's how this all came about. And to have these folks wanting to put in their catering business there, it's just almost like if you had to dream of a miracle happening in this building, it's like, this is it. This is just so amazing. And what they've done with the building, the Peckish Pig people did with the building, just amazing work. They did it by themselves. They had very few major contractors, electrical and plumbing, but otherwise they did it themselves. And this is, and during the pandemic, they did this. So we couldn't be more proud.
I'll take that as you're very supportive.
Sort of.
All right. Thank you, Alderman Rainey. Well, then I will move to approve a Class T catering liquor license to Green Spoon, and we'd move it before the Evanston City Council on that same, I believe, Monday, April 26th meeting, right, Brian? For this one. Is there a second to that?
Second.
All right. So all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Marion's and I. Okay. So Maggie, Mike, Monica, congratulations on this great relationship that you've all established and the catering work that you are and will be doing now. An added bonus with a liquor license, if approved by the Evanston City Council, which I presume it will be. You heard me mention to Canal Shores. I just mentioned to you as well. It is a privilege to have a liquor license in Evanston. My expectation, and you've all been in the restaurant and the food business, for quite some time in your career, is that you follow all the rules and the procedures that, govern having a liquor license by the state, by the city. I have no tolerance for underage drinking or serving people that, have had too much to drink, and expect that you will act responsibly. And if you don't, we will have a conversation about that. So congratulations. You will just, Brian will get back with you all and the alderman. Again, similar to what we said before, Alderman Rainey has the prerogative, if you'd like, and you talk to her, to ask for the rules to be suspended so it can be introduced and approved on the 26th, and then you can get your license sooner. We do that for many applicants in the past. All right. All right. Well,
Thank you.
thank you, and good luck. We're going to move to our final item on the agenda, which is the Grosse Pointe Hospitality doing business as Ridgeville Tavern. And this is at 1520 Sherman Avenue, and they are requesting a Class C restaurant license. This was sent to the applicant, the notice, on March 26th, and to Alderman Don Wilson, who isn't with us today, but to Alderman Don Wilson also on March 26th. And so let's see, do we have a representative from Ridgeville Tavern? I see Ike Robertson.
Hey,
Robertson.
Mayor.
Hi.
How
Hi,
are you
Ike.
today?
I'm good. I'm good. So why don't we start with you? If you would just go ahead, introduce yourself, and why don't you just briefly talk about the business that you're all opening and what your request is today.
Sure. So my name's Ike Robertson. I'm the owner operator of the startup venture Ridgeville Tavern, Grosse Pointe Hospitality doing business as Ridgeville Tavern. We are requesting a Class C liquor license to serve food and drink in the space at 1520 Sherman Avenue, formerly the Bar Louie space. I actually was the general manager for the Bar Louie space up until its closure in last year at the beginning of the pandemic. I worked there for the better part of 13 years, and 12 of which is the GM. So when the lease was terminated, I decided to give it a shot on my own, and I'm gonna, it's every restaurant operator's dream is to do their own thing. So that's where I'm going with this. So this is my first ownership venture, but I'm really excited. I'm very familiar with
Hey, I don't know, like something's happened. We could hear you fine, and then a second ago you just sort of cut out.
Hold on a second. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you again. Yep. So if you get,
Okay.
yeah.
Now it switched over to my headphones. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. So if you just go back like 10 seconds where you had just stopped one thought and then you were starting the new one. That's what we didn't catch. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I ran the Bar Louie forever. This opportunity came along, and it's been my goal to own my own place eventually. It kind of fell into my lap. I wasn't expecting it to play out like this, but I think it's a great location. It's a great space, and I'm really excited to open up a great neighborhood spot for the regulars that used to go to Bar Louie, and we plan on bringing back some of the staff. So it's kind of certainly not Bar Louie reincarnate, but it's kind of an extension of the space.
Well, I'll tell you, as the mayor of Evanston, to have someone who, is, has been in this business for a long time, is entrepreneurial, and wants to start something as we come out of this pandemic, it's really exciting. It's really exciting to hear. So congratulations on getting that property. I agree with you. My office and my company downtown is only, a block away. And so I've been to Bar Louie before and all that. And I have a lot of young people that work here who are anxious to get back to the office. They're tired of working from home. And I think there's a lot of people and businesses like that. So hopefully we'll start to see come this summer and the nice weather, more people, going out. And again, you've got the great windows there. You can open up throughout that whole thing. And
yeah, we've got the garage door
table. So it's really well positioned, I think, for being a place that people would view as pretty safe as we come out of this pandemic. So that's great. All right. So Brian, this is a pretty standard license, the Class C license for a restaurant. You've spent some time on the application. Any concerns or issues you saw in reviewing it?
No, it was a smooth application process. They got everything in a timely manner, and from Mr. Robertson's presentation, it's pretty obvious that he knows the space, he knows the area, and he knows the industry. So no concerns on my part.
All right. Marion, any questions or concerns?
No questions, no concerns.
All right, excellent. And I don't either. Ike, I'll repeat myself one more time, but you've been here and you've heard what I've said to everybody else. And you know, you've been in this business for a long time. You understand the rules and the procedures and that there's no tolerance for underage drinking or serving people too much, to drink and all of that. And my expectation is you'll be a very responsible, proprietor of this. If you're found to not be complying with these rules, then we will have a very stern conversation about that. With that, I am going to move approval of the Class C restaurant liquor license for Grosse Pointe Hospitality doing business as Ridgeville Tavern. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. So we both approve of this. We're going to move this to the City Council. It will be at that same Monday, April 26th council meeting. You've heard what I've said to the others. Brian will get with you, but then you also want to get with your alderman, who's Don Wilson of the Fourth Ward, and you can ask him if you'd like to see if he'll suspend the rules, allowing it to be for introduction and action that evening, which just means you'll get your liquor license by, let's say May 1st or soon after, as opposed to having to wait for us to hold another council meeting and then approve it for action that night.
Understood. Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Well, great. That concludes our meeting for today. We didn't have any other new business on the agenda, so I'm going to ask if there's a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Brian, thank you for all the heavy lifting that you do to get us to these meetings and reviewing these and working with the applicants. I always appreciate, and I know Marion does too, when these meetings run so smoothly. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mayor Haggerty.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.